So this is a great opportunity to compare different kinds of boats for my Paddling 101 class because we didn't have quite a variety of kayaks for that class. And this is a Dagger Piedra. A good friend of mine paddles one. She's considering getting something more modern as a river runner, an easy creeker. And I pointed out that the Piedra, if you notice, it's shaped like a dart. It doesn't have any rocker to speak of, not a lot. And the leg position is straighter. And that is just an old school design. That's how it used to be done. And then you notice the hull doesn't have any edges. It's a little flat on the bottom, but it's still more of a displacement hull, which means it's rounder. There's two kinds of hulls, planing hulls and displacement hulls. And planing hulls are flatter and displacement hulls are rounder with no edges. But then we come over here to the diesel series, which I was saying, it's an older design, but it's still really popular. It has some rocker, but you notice these areas where you put your knees, it's higher, so you don't have such a flat leg position. The outfitting's much nicer. I'm going to go back and show the outfitting on the Piedra. This has actually been improved because they added these hip pads, but this is the original old school back band, and there's just not much to that. And then you come over to the diesels and look at, I love Wave Sport outfitting. These really nice adjustable thigh hooks, hip pads, and nice back band. And then going over here to this one, it's got the whiteout outfitting, and you see these ratchets. You can control how tight that back band is with the ratcheting strap, so it's kind of fancy. I still think these are great for river running and easy creeking. Again, it's got more of a river running profile to it. It doesn't have a ton of rocker, and I don't know if I can do this and hold the phone at the same time, but oh, look here, you can see it's got an edge. What that edge does is kind of double chine. It allows it to carve on waves. Kind of think about how skis have an edge and you can carve down a slope. These allow you to carve on waves, so this is a good boat for surfing. And then we have these two modern creekers, the Machno and the Code, and they are designed to paddle the hardest whitewater you can find. They're full-on creekers, as we say, and they've got a ton of rocker, meaning the bow is turned up, shaped more like a banana, and then the stern is also up. And great outfitting, bomber plastic. Like, these are very heavy because you got to rely on them in rough conditions. It does have an edge, but it's not as pronounced an edge as the diesel. And I don't know if the Machno has an edge or not. Let's just check it out. It does, but if you notice, it's more subtle, and it doesn't have that dip to the flat hull that the diesel had. And these have more of a rounded hull. They're closer to a displacement hull than the river runners, because you don't want edges tripping you up on rocks, and you just want to have, like, these things are built to get you through the roughest conditions you encounter. And they've got bulbous sterns so that you don't pin, get caught in pin, and that rocker makes them ride up over on top of things. So you can just... Was the one that went with us? Yeah, I know. And so anyway, that's kind of a summary of the boats we didn't have at Paddling 101. I'm going to finish with this boat, the RPM, because it's one of the oldest designs. Believe it or not, that's an upgraded back band. It originally had one like that Piedra over there. But they're still really popular, and you can still get value out of them. If you buy one, you probably sell it for what you paid for it, however long down the road. And this was the first boat I ever owned, was a Dagger RPM, not this particular one, but RPM No edges. You see how there's no edges?
No, we got too much help.
And this is a classic displacement hull boat. So sometimes I would get into some places and kind of roll like a pencil. But on the other hand, I could roll it up so easily. It's one of the easiest rolling boat designs. So anyway, that's my subject. That's my conclusion for the day.